Hey, it's Nikki Thompson, and you're listening to Tea with Nikki, embracing your sexual energy. And this episode is all about choosing what we focus on and how that actually creates the life that we want or don't want. So before I get into that episode, I just wanted to let you know that I have been appreciating all of the messages and comments that people have been sending through, loving the podcast, and I'm so excited. Now, I know this topic is a little bit still like hush-hush, a little taboo, talking about sexual energy, orgasms, and all of the fun stuff that we've been dying to talk about. However, it can be difficult to share. So I wanted to thank people who are sharing it and encourage you to share these episodes with women who you feel like, just need a little bit of something to help them shift in different parts of their life. So I really appreciate for everyone who's sharing it and loving up on the podcast. All right, so let's get into today's episode. So this morning I got a message from a friend, well, not a friend, but someone who has been following me on Instagram for quite a while, so I consider them a friend. And he was saying, I really appreciate this episode you did earlier this month. And I had to go back and look because I couldn't remember what he'd spoken, what he was talking about. And he said, it really kicked me into action and it really helped me stick to this training program we've been doing. I just couldn't get into the habit of doing it. And I was just like blown away because I was in a space of feeling a bit shit. My kids have been with their dad for the last few days. And as I get to the end of their time with their dad, I feel super lonely and just cannot wait to hold them again. So I was feeling in that space this morning when I got this message. And so I looked back at the video, which was just a social media video that I do, which I do every morning. So if you want to check that out, it's just on Instagram and Facebook. And I looked back. And it was just a short little video. It was only a couple of minutes long. And it was all about the choices that we make. And that's why I thought I would do this podcast episode, because I'm like, whoa. Yeah, like I listened back to it, and especially the space I was in this morning, I'm like, fuck, like I can choose. I know all of this stuff, the messages that I share and all that kind of thing. It's not just for you, it's for me as well. And one of my coach actually says she shares her content for me, for you, for us. And that's Melanie Leah. And I just love that, for me, for you, for us. And so the message about choice is that we really do get to choose what we focus on, because we are what we focus on. If we're in a space and we're getting really anxious or really angry or frustrated, and we don't do anything about it, we're choosing to stay in that space. Now, I'm not saying that you have to choose to be happy all of the time, because it's fucking unrealistic. But we can choose to shift our focus. So, for example, the guy that sent me the message this morning, he really wanted to do a daily training. And so for him, he had a choice in the mornings. He could choose to stay in bed and be like, oh, it's so warm, so much warmer in here, it's cozy and all those kinds of things. It's way easier. Or he could be like, but I made this commitment to myself. I want to do this training. He has a choice in that moment. And pretty much the rest of his day will be formed based on that choice. So whether he sleeps in and then feels shit about himself, feels shit that he didn't get up and do training, or if he gets up and goes for training and feels like invigorated and it's like, yes, I've stuck to this commitment to myself, this is great, that really shifts how his day is going to go out. And eventually, when we make all these constant choices at different points of our day, of our week, of our life, it forms the life that we have. But often we feel as though we don't have a choice. It's like, I have to go to this job because I don't have a choice. Well, in that state, you need to think about it, right? Now, I am super aware, being a single mama, one income to support me and my kids. I get how sometimes that being in a shit job could feel like it's your only choice. However, it's not. You're making that decision to be in this job. You could try and find another job. And yes, right now, obviously, that's not ideal or easy. However, you are choosing to be there. So when you tell yourself, oh, fuck, I hate this job, I've got no choice but to be here, you're actually not correct. You do have a choice. You're choosing to be here. And see how the fact that if you realize that you are in fact making that choice, you're choosing to be at that shit job so that you can pay your bills, feed your kids, do whatever it is that you want to do with your money. You're choosing to be in that job. It gives you your power back. Yet if we walk around our days thinking, oh, I don't have a choice but to do this, I don't have a choice, I have to do this, it takes our power away. And so just the concept of realizing that we always have a choice can help us have that power back and help us to start to think about, okay, all right, I do have a choice. Do I want to make another choice? Do I want to change my decision? And we're allowed to do that too. But we can always shift that focus as well. So for me, this morning I was feeling really shit, and I've been trying to do this work for a client, and it's kind of draining me a little bit. And I had a decision to, I was swearing at the computer, and I realized, hang on, Nick, you're making the decision to get frustrated and angry and pissed off right now. Right now, there's actually not much I could do to fix this problem. I have to be patient and let the tech little gremlins get out of this system so that I can come back and sort this out. So I made the decision to get up out of my office, out back into the garden, and spend some time out there. That was a choice I had. Or I could have sat at the computer and got more angry, more frustrated, and more anxious. Now, because it took me a number of hours to make that decision, my energy was just like drained, so drained and so frustrated. And I had another call. I had 3 calls in a row cancel, different types of calls, like a client call, an interview call, and something else, another call, and they all cancelled. And I felt like my energy was just pushing everyone away because I was like frustrated, lonely, feeling like shit. And I realized that my vibration here was not on point. And again, I try to embody all that I teach. Like, that is my focus. Always learning, always evolving. And that's my focus here, especially with this podcast and all the content that I share with people and my programs and all that kind of good stuff. Yet still human and still learning. And so this morning I got up and went out into the yard. I'm like, oh my God, why did I not do this earlier? Oh man, I was just feeling really shit. And so then once I got outside, I could breathe, I could relax, and I could feel my energy start to settle. And so I realized that I had to do this podcast episode today, because the other reason is I don't want to just share all of the, oh my God, I had the best orgasm. Oh my God, this is so amazing. Oh my God, I feel so fantastic. Oh my God, life's so good. You know, it's not always like that. And today, for example, was not like that at all. And I'm at the moment of recording this, I'm nearly finished a free 10-day orgasm challenge inside my free group. And it's been fantastic. The responses have been amazing. I had this massive high over the weekend. All of these amazing things were just going. Incredible. Bang, bang, bang. It was just amazing. In every area of my life, it was just phenomenal. And then Monday night, I just felt like shit. And I could not work out why. And I was just feeling lonely and sad. And I'm thinking, fuck, but everything was so beautiful yesterday. And it's just life, you know. And by yesterday afternoon, I was just so exhausted. I realized that I hadn't been managing my energy as well. So if you go back 2 episodes, I did a whole podcast episode on energy management, and that's where I talk about how to manage things so that you're incorporating more self-care, self-love practices and things like that into your day so that you're not hitting that point. And I did not take that advice yesterday. I wanted to keep working because I wanted to get as much done as I could before the kids come back on Wednesday morning. And it was a stupid idea. So for me, I realized that, well, first of all, I need to continue working on this. It's never like, there's never like an end goal and then you're done. It's a constant process. But also, I really, really want you to start to shift that focus. You know, I was really focused on getting this stupid thing sorted out on the computer this morning, and that overtook me, and I felt like crap. And I realized, like, okay, my end goal here is actually to get the client a great result, but me being angry and frustrated by this stupid piece of software isn't going to help, isn't going to get me to that point. And me just sitting here being frustrated is not going to help either. And so I had a choice, and I made that decision a little late, but better late than never. And I want you to kind of really look at this. Like, where are you focusing your energy on in certain moments where you're feeling angry, frustrated, sad, all of the feelings that just feel yuck, you know? And how can you start to shift that? How can you work on different energy management techniques to help you so that you're not getting to that place as regularly as you might be right now? So that is what I wanted to cover today. And I also wanted to actually, before I wrap it up, I wanted to say that one of the things that we can do is when we do start to incorporate a self-pleasure practice, having an orgasm, why that helps with our focus and energy and strength and all of those things is because our focus is back onto our pleasure. Our focus is back into our body and out of our heads. And this is how it happens. This is how it works so beautifully. And how we can start to reconnect with our sexual energy is through our physical bodies. Because as women in particular, we're all in our head. But when we start to move out of our head and focus back into our bodies and what are we feeling? How does this feel good? Does this feel bad? What's our intuition saying? All of these things. And for me, I could feel these red flags coming up this morning, and I had this dream last night that was giving me a red flag. Yet I was ignoring all of it, thinking, no, but I have to still do this because otherwise I'm going to upset people, you know, and that is going to impact my energy, and I could feel that. Yet I ignored it. And so this is something that we, you know, another reason why embracing our sexual energy can really help us in so many different parts of our life, because we can reconnect with that physical body and get out of our heads. All right. That is our episode for today. I hope you have the most incredible week, and I will chat to you again next week. Don't forget to check out on Wednesdays sporadically. We have incredible guest interviews that you can hear from real women doing these types of practices and talking about all different parts of their life and the impact sexual energy embracement can really improve our lives. So I hope you have the most epic week, and I will see you next week. Bye.